Hello everybody, I'm Matt and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be checking out Absolute Wonder Woman issue 10 by Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman and Geordie Belair. Wonder Woman's adventure into the maze continues as the warrior unsheathes her battle axe to fight the oncoming fisherman, protecting Petra, the young siren girl that the so-called Queen Clea wants. Diana and Ferdinand prove to be a formidable team, working well together against the fishermen, making short work of them. Props to Hayden Sherman, who has to choreograph all of these action sequences in like a 6-foot span wide hallway and make it all make sense and have some movement and kinetic energy too, and he does this with no trouble at all either. Clea, sick of the heroes battering her fishermen, calls up a giant ballista. Ferdinand dives in front of Diana and Petra, protecting them from the volley of arrows that pierce his thick skin. Weakened from the volley, Ferdinand tells Diana to protect Petra and get her out of the maze. Diana promises to come back for the giant Minotaur, and Ferdinand's sacrifice gives Diana a chance to escape with Petra, making Clea angered as her fishermen go after them. She demands that they bring her the siren alive, but they can kill the interloper. I really hope that this isn't the end for Ferdinand. Like, I know he's probably survived and he's going to get rescued by Wonder Woman and get out of the maze and whatnot, but this is the absolute universe. Death can and will happen. We've seen it time and time again. Sometime before in the Wild Isle, Cersei prepares Diana to see Artemis, dressing her in her armor and giving her her weapons. She thinks what she should say to the young girl, but knows that the girl will know what is right. Hesitating for but a moment, Cersei tells Diana to trust herself and all will be well. Diana isn't afraid of gods, venturing outside to confront a giant lion that Artemis has taken the form of, its face covered in blood. Diana introduces herself, welcoming the being to the Isle and offering what little they have, but the creature wants it all. I really like this idea of Diana getting her trials as a child and we getting to experience that, seeing what made her who she is and how it's all in preparation for her escaping hell, going to Earth and disrupting the systems the gods have put in place. The creature demands that she defend herself, but Diana won't fight for no reason. The monster goes to leave, telling her the next time it comes, it will take her blood, her bones, and maybe even an entire limb. Diana knows that she can bear it, not because she is weak like the creature thinks she is, but because she is strong, since a lot of things in hell live to just kick and scream and bite at first, but it's because they don't know any other way. But she wants to show them a different way, a way of peace. The monster snaps at Diana, grabbing her arm in a bid to make her fight, but she still refuses. This entire sequence is just so fucking cool and a real encapsulation on who this Diana is. She is someone who would rather make friends than fight. She wants to change people's aspects of themselves, the base instincts they have, wants to change that completely about things she meets. Show them that, hey, we can just be friends, we can just hang out and be chill. That's such a cool idea, and it's been touched upon a couple of times throughout this entire run, and it all kind of clicks into place here as we see it sort of play out and come from Diana directly. Since Diana won't fight, the monster decides to attack a nearby turtle, but Diana blocks its path, protecting the turtle since he did nothing wrong. The monster demands that Diana stop her, so to protect her turtle friend, Diana battles the monster, evading its giant maw as she slices it open with her battle axe. Later on, Cersei comes to find Diana, finding her daughter is hurt, but she survived her ordeal. Diana asks if Cersei is proud of her since she did good, introducing her mother to the turtle and naming it Nico. Later on, back at the home, Cersei pleads with Hecate to intervene and stop Artemis since it's too soon for Diana to be undergoing the trials. Hecate says it's actually too late, and everything they do is to turn Diana into a weapon, reminding Cersei that this is her purpose in life and she is to be the undefeatable weapon in the heart of the system that must be destroyed. This is the stuff I've been really liking, the trials, the training, this base origin stuff, and I like that we are seeing that sort of plan get kind of flipped on its head where they think they're training a weapon, they think they're turning her into this weapon, and in ways they have, but not in the way they thought it, because Diana is going to be using the peace and compassion and love that she learnt throughout her childhood as the weapon. Like, that's the weapon that no one sees coming, and I thoroughly enjoy that. I do wonder if beyond breaking free from the gods we've seen like Zeus and all of those sort of things and dismantling their system, whether she will actually end up going after Darkseid, being that he is the quote-unquote god of gods. He's the creator of this absolute universe, and I can see her going toe-to-toe with him in a bid to free the entire world from his grasp. Cersei hates the idea that this weapon is just a little girl, but that's the point, as Hecate knows that men dismiss little girls, so she'll go unseen, and she is the kindest human being because this is what monsters don't understand. But the most important thing is that she is simply herself. This is who she is, and that will give her the ultimate advantage. Hecate knows that despite all of this, she will still know how to fight and commit violence when needed, hence the trials. Hecate leaves Cersei alone with the injured Diana, telling her to have faith and to hope. So this was probably the most important flashback so far, as it laid out much of the backstory as to why Diana is doing this. This is all stuff we've gotten in previous issues, but here it's all kind of condensed down into one conversation. So if there was any confusion on anyone's part, I think this issue kind of cleared everything up, and it did a really great job of kind of rounding out those edges and telling everyone what the deal is. Back in the maze, Diana assures Petra that she's going to get her out of the maze, since with Ferdinand gone, she won't be safe. Diana begins to smell the marks she left on the wall, following the scent back to it. She activates it, opening the portal back to the Huron. Diana tells Petra she will not leave the maze until she rescues Ferdinand, sending the girl through the portal and to Steve and the others, who think the girl might actually be Diana, being that they've seen her transform into various other shapes and forms, so it's not out of the question. They notice how Petra looks a little dry somehow, thinking that she might need some water. So we haven't really gotten all of the team together like this all that much, but their dynamic here is just so fun. It's playful. You can tell off panel they've been kind of getting to know one another and sort of work out like who has what role in their team. And even Diana's influence is rubbing off on them as they immediately try and help this unknown girl, knowing that she has come from Diana, meaning she does need help. Diana, meanwhile, heads back through the maze, but is suddenly ensnared by some very powerful hallucinogenic mists, which cover her body. She reminds herself not to panic and not move fast, otherwise the toxin will pump through her body that much quicker, but it's too late as the stuff makes her see strange glowing monsters following her. Since the toxin is in her system now, Diana sprints through the maze, soon coming across Queen Clear's throne room. This apparently was all part of the plan, as Clear congratulates her minions for a job well done, citing Diana as a prime candidate for the pit. I absolutely love the colour shift Jordie Bellaire does with Hayden Sherman's art this part of the book. It becomes all neon and psychedelic, things are all kind of warbled and don't look right, except for Diana, who is still the solid lined character she has been throughout the entire book. I kind of like she sticks out like a sore thumb throughout this entire section. It's great. Diana fights off the fishmen as Clear demands that she be put into the pit, lamenting about how was she even able to conquer anything with these stupid fishmen serving her. Since her fishmen have trouble tossing Diana in, she decides to throw the scientist in first, knowing full well that Diana will follow the scientist and try and save them. Diana isn't too pleased that Clear picked up on that from her, knowing that she's not wrong, and as soon as the scientist is tossed down the pit, Diana dives after them, catching them as they land at the bottom with no trouble. Being Diana saves though tells her not to disturb the myriad of flowers around, but it's too late as Diana's large form causes the flowers to bloom and put out more of the toxin. Diana tries to use one of her spell vials, but it smashes on the floor as a flaming orange being with a hammer comes right for her. This is such a cool new setting for the book. I love the shift into this psychedelic weird romp through this maze, which I thought was just going to be a simple D&D maze, traps, some scary monsters and that, but I love the psychedelic odyssey into madness it has taken. I'm all for it. It's such an interesting and creative setting for Wonder Woman, and I can't wait to see what Thompson does with it in the next issue. Absolute Wonder Woman issue 10 was a damn fun adventure through the mystical maze Diana finds herself trapped in. Alongside action and adventure, Kelly Thompson dived back into what makes this Wonder Woman a hero and the hope she brings to the world, and especially her mother and the rebel gods. It's a brilliant reimagining of Diana's story that I fully believe positions her as probably the most important hero in the absolute universe. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10.